The Mughal Empire in the Indian subcontinent started gloriously. However, it faced a massive resistance and eventually lost its Indian possessions by 1540. This led to the formation of the Second Afghan Empire, also known as the Suri Empire. Its founder Sher Shah Suri laid a firm base to the kingdom and greatly expanded it till his death in 1545. Sher Shah Suri was succeeded by his son Islam Shah Suri. Islam Shah's position as the Suri Emperor was challenged by his brother Adil Khan. Adil Khan fought a battle against Islam Shah, but was defeated. Adil Khan fled to avoid capture, and Islam Shah Suri made attempts to find and arrest him. Meanwhile, the Afghan governor of Punjab, Haibat Khan Niazi, spotted a great opportunity to overthrow Islam Shah Suri and place himself on the throne of the Afghan Empire. He managed to bring the governors of the other western provinces of the Suri Empire to his side by promising them generous favors once he would gain the throne. Previously powerful but now fugitive Afghan general Khawaz Khan was a supporter of Adil Khan and a bitter enemy of Islam Shah Suri. He was invited and joined the rebel coalition. The rebel coalition joined forces, and a majority of its soldiers were Punjabi troops, directly under the control of Haibat Khan Niazi. Meanwhile, Islam Shah Suri was informed of the rebellious plans of the coalition led by the Punjab governor. He immediately ordered the mobilization of the Suri army based at Agra, Gwalior, Delhi, and other neighboring regions. He also sent dispatches to the governors of Jaunpur, Allahabad, Benares, Chunar, Bihar, and Bengal to send reinforcements as soon as possible. Haibat Khan Niazi and his allies rapidly marched on Agra and encamped at the North Indian city of Ambala. Here, a bit of dispute broke out. Haibat Khan Niazi wanted himself on the throne, while Khawaz Khan was still a devoted supporter of Prince Adil Khan. Khawaz Khan withdrew himself from the coalition and marched back towards the west. Meanwhile, the imperial Suri army, led by the emperor himself, appeared in the vicinity and also encamped at Ambala in the spring of 1547. The rival forces were evenly matched in terms of numbers. Neither side was willing to delay the battle. That would mean fighting in the scorching summer heat, which might be more difficult to handle than the enemy. Both sides made their battle formations. Haibat Khan Niazi and Islam Shah Suri both placed themselves at the centers of their respective troops. Islam Shah Suri had kept a division under the command of his general Zabardast Khan away from his main army. Those troops were instructed to attack the enemy camp when the opportunity comes. Haibat Khan Niazi knew that he had to take the initiative. He ordered his left and right divisions to attack the imperial right and left respectively. The imperial wings charged forward to accept the battle invitation. The intensity of the conflict grew with time as leaders of both sides planned their upcoming moves. In the hand-to-hand combat, the rebel troops proved fiercer. The rebel left incurred rather heavy casualties on the imperial right. After some fighting, the rebels gained some ground, but could not break through the imperialists. Both sides went back to their positions and started developing further plans. This took a long time, and precious hours rolled by. All of a sudden, the rebel troops jumped on an all-out offensive. Except for their center, all their divisions charged forwards towards the enemy positions. The imperial army struggled to contain the impetuous onslaught of the rebel intruders and tried hard to hold their ground. But the rebel troops were wreaking havoc in the imperial ranks. Imperial soldiers fell in large numbers to stop their advance. Some of the fearless Punjabi rebel soldiers managed to get past the personal troops of Islam Shah Suri and were galloping towards the elephant of the emperor. However, they were kept at bay by the personal bodyguards of the emperor who managed to push them back. The imperialists solidified their defenses and the rebel intruders went back, fearing encirclement by the enemy. It was close to sunset. The imperial army was reeling from the series of repeated assaults delivered on them. They also had to concede some ground to the rebels. Haibat Khan Niazi was pretty delighted with the performance of his troops. However, he decided not to push for a final blow that evening, as he needed some time to organize his ranks that took some damage on that bloody day. Both sides went back to their camps. Rebel soldiers received shocking piece of news when they reached their camps in the evening. The camps of the rebel provincial governors were some distance away from their Punjabi allies. The rebel provincial governors learnt that their baggage train had been taken by the enemy. Soldiers, officers, and commanders used to deposit their personal wealth, valuables, and other essential commodities in the baggage train that also contained food materials and fodder supply for the army. Their baggage train was now in the hands of the imperialists. The non-Punjabi part of the rebel troops panicked as they were now without essential supplies. They sent their envoys to the imperial camp and requested back their baggage train. The imperial army generals offered to agree on one condition. The seekers would have to come over to their side and quit their pre-existing alliance with the rebel leader Haibat Khan Niazi. Since the captured baggage train contained everything that the soldiers regarded with high value, the rebels thought that it was a fair claim made by the imperialists. Under the cover of darkness, the rebels slipped over to the imperial side, leaving the unaware Haibat Khan Niazi only with his provincial Punjabi troops to his aid. Next morning, Haibat Khan Niazi discovered that he was greatly outnumbered owing to the betrayal of his allies. He was also informed that fresh Afghan troops were arriving from the eastern provinces of Bihar and Bengal and were likely to substantially reinforce the imperial side very soon. Taking an alarm, Haibat Khan Niazi ordered a hasty retreat westwards, towards his capital of Lahore. The Punjabi troops crossed the river Jhelum. Sher Shah Suri, after some time, sent a body of pursuing troops to keep Haibat Khan Niazi on the run. The Suri Emperor himself went back to Agra. The Punjabi troops were not able to put up a stand. The imperial army took control of Punjab, and Haibat Khan Niazi continued his escape journey. He was on the run for 2 years before being annihilated by the imperialists. The Suri Empire now shared its border with Mughal-controlled Afghanistan. In the wake of a possible Mughal incursion to the Punjab in the near future, Sher Shah Suri ordered the construction of a strong fort along the banks of the river Chenab. This fort is called Mankot. Even after the defeat of rebel Haibat Khan Niazi, Islam Shah Suri faced further problems in his empire. His governor of the central Indian province of Malwa, Shujat Khan, had declared independence from the Suri Empire during the Battle of Ambala. He had set himself up as an independent king of Malwa. Islam Shah Suri sent a large imperial force to deal with Shujat Khan. Unwilling to make a trial of strength against the imperial army, Shujat Khan sought forgiveness from the emperor. He was granted pardon and was restored to power in the southern regions of Malwa. However, the Malwa capital of Ujjain remained outside his domain. Khawaz Khan, one of the favorite generals of former Emperor Sher Shah Suri, had opposed Islam Shah in the past by making a failed common cause with his rival Adil Khan. After the failed enterprise, he had fled to take refuge with the Raja or the local king of Kumaon, that is located in modern-day Uttarakhand. Islam Shah Suri sent friendly letters to Khawaz Khan, offering reconciliation to the fugitive general. Khawaz Khan was invited to the imperial court of Agra to accept position worthy of his reputation. Happy to receive the emperor's offer, Khawaz Khan started his journey towards Agra. On the way, he stopped at Sambhal, where he was supposed to meet its governor Taj Khan Karani, who was apparently instructed by the emperor to receive him and escort him to the imperial court. Little did Khawaz Khan know that the smooth tongue of the emperor was hiding his treacherous intent. In reality, Islam Shah Suri was keen to get rid of the strongest supporter of his brother Adil Khan. Taj Khan Karani, the emperor's agent in this assassinative mission, arranged for a dancing party on the pretext of providing entertainment to Khawaz Khan. He had employed a professional assassin who, under careful instructions, accomplished his task when Khawaz Khan was enjoying the performance of the dancing girls. Taj Khan Karani was a capable officer of Afghan origin. He was skilled in the art of using critical situations to his advantage. He would eventually end up as the king. But that is a story for another day. With a firm supporter of Adil Khan now out of the way, Islam Shah Suri felt much more relaxed. His throne was now more secured than ever before. Islam Shah Suri decided to do away with the regime of Qazi Fazilat in the province of Bengal. He reintroduced the position of governor, and the Bengal administration was no longer different from the other provinces. Islam Shah had developed some illness at Delhi in 1553. At this point, an alarming piece of news reached him. Humayun had come out on top in the fratricidal struggle among the Mughal aristocrats, and had made himself the undisputed ruler of Afghanistan. While the Mughal king was based at Kabul, the Mughal army was preparing to conquer Kashmir as an initial step to attack Hindustan, which was a common term used to indicate the Indian subcontinent. Emperor Islam Shah Suri had managed to get the better of rebels in his empire. But he is now facing an invasion from the Mughals, whom his father had expelled from the subcontinent. Will Mughal Emperor Humayun be able to defeat Islam Shah Suri and recover Hindustan? Will Islam Shah Suri be able to stop the Mughal invaders? You can find out by watching the next episode of this documentary series. Thank you for watching.